Hey guys, I'm gonna stay mostly out of the shot because that way you can, while you're watching this, you can zoom in. If you're watching it on an iPad or a phone or something like that, you can use your two fingers and zoom in and get closer to what we're talking about. So today we're talking about the rules of measurement. Um, these are not all of the rules. You might think of some others and go, "Hey, Mr. Trammell left those out," but and that's fine if you want to. You can leave any others that you think of in the comments. But the rules of measurement, these are the five that I think are the most important. So the first one would be to keep it straight. Now, whether you're using a car, over and over again to measure something, that would be non-standard, or if you're using a standard form of measurement like a ruler, you need to make sure that you keep it straight. So if we're measuring this line right here, and I had my ruler straight like that, just like this one is, that's great, check mark. But if my ruler's crooked while I'm measuring, I put it like that or like that, then that's not going to work because you're not going to get an accurate measurement that way. All right? So make sure that when you measure, not only are you straight, but you are butted up right against the line that you're measuring, okay? The next rule would be to start at the edge. Now this is interesting because rulers, you would think right here at the end is the beginning of the ruler. This is not actually the beginning of the ruler. I'm going to use this screw to show you what the actual beginning of the ruler is. The ruler starts right there, that first little notch. Not here on the end, but right there, that first little notch. And the best reason I can think of for why they don't just make the end of the ruler is because maybe the ruler could become damaged and then you wouldn't get an accurate measurement. Or maybe in the factory when they're cutting these off, making tons and tons of rulers, the blade might dull, and so they want to leave a little bit of room for any of those things that might happen. So again, the beginning of the ruler is that little notch that you see right there, okay, when you're measuring in inches. So I want to actually start at the edge. So you can see this ruler I've drawn, that's the first little notch. If you zoom in, you can see it, and it's right on the edge of that line. So that's what I would do with my ruler. And that is going to give me an accurate measurement, okay? This is 6 1/4 inches. So, well, on this ruler, it's 5 inches. And check mark, that's how you would do that. These rulers that I drew aren't drawn to scale, obviously. You don't want to start just mid-ruler somewhere, okay? So if I put my ruler up there and I start at like the 3-inch mark, well, this isn't a 9-inch line, okay? It's not a 7-inch line. I would have to put my ruler right to the edge. This is a 6-inch line, okay? So it's very important so we take the first rule, we keep our ruler straight, we butt it up right against the line, and we start right on that first notch of the ruler. If you want to zoom in, this would be a good time. So we start right on that first notch, and this line on my ruler is 6 inches. And on this one, it's not 7 inches because they didn't start at the beginning. Seriously? All right. The next one is no overlapping. So I overlapped my P's there. Honestly, I did that because sometimes teachers spell things wrong, and I put one P in there, and I noticed later. So no overlapping like I did these P's. That would be like if I don't have two rulers, but if I laid my ruler down and I measured, let's say I was measuring this entire sheet of paper, and I set a ruler there, and then I set another ruler kind of on top of it. Well, that wouldn't work. I would need to set it right next to it. So I could make a mark right there, and I could pick my ruler up, and I could put it right on that mark, and I could measure like that. But I can't overlap my rulers, okay? They have to be butted up right next to each other, okay? So keep it straight, start at the edge, no overlapping. So if I were to measure this line for real, I would keep my ruler straight, I would butt it right up against that line. I would start at the very edge notch, that first notch, and well, I can't really show an example of not overlapping, but that's our first 3 rules there. All right, just like we don't want to overlap, we don't want to underlap or leave gaps, right? Oh yeah, so this one is a no, and this one is a yup. Anyways, but just like we don't want to overlap, we don't want to leave any gaps when we're measuring. So if I were measuring this whole page, and I put a ruler there, and then I put another ruler like here, that would be leaving a big gap. I have to put them right next to each other. So I'd make a little mark there, and then I put my ruler right back on that mark. Okay, I can't leave any big gaps. So I can use my big meter stick to kind of just show you an example here. I wouldn't want to leave a gap right there. I'd want to butt these right up next to each other. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And then our last rule is no switching units. Okay, so at the top of this line, I've got a toy car, a ruler, a battery, and a hamburger. Obviously, you're probably not going to want to measure with a hamburger because all hamburgers are different sizes. This is a terrible way to measure, because how would I tell anybody how long this line is? I mean, I would have to say it's a toy car, ruler, battery, and burger long, and that's ridiculous. So no switching units. If I start with a toy truck, I need to measure a toy truck over and over and over and over. I couldn't do all of these random things. Now, if I had a very small ruler, they do make 6-inch rulers. So if I had a small ruler, I would just put it down once, put it down again, put it down again. But I'm not going to start with a ruler and then switch to this screw or something. Okay, so this makes no sense, right? What? This would be perfect, putting rulers end to end. All right, so I hope that helps you understand some of the rules of measurement. Like I said, there's probably other rules. You can probably think of a different one. And if you can, let me know. But these are just the basics that are important to keep in mind. Thanks for watching. Bye.